guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here, and welcome back to an all-new Call of Duty World War II Zombies The Final Reich video. Now today, we're going to be discussing the potential first step to the double pack-a-punch machine Easter egg within the Final Reich. Now, I just want to say that I apologise that I have not added videos for a few days. I have been sick, so my voice has just been completely jacked, so it's just been rather hard recording videos. Even now, my voice is really not 100%, but yeah, I felt like I couldn't go any longer without an upload, so I'm here making this video today. So there has been a lot of videos and a lot of discussion regarding this topic that I'm going to discuss within today's video, but I'm going to be giving an opposing argument to everyone else's because I think this community is too quick to jump the gun on certain things without looking at both points of view and both perspectives of things. But anyways, if you do go on to enjoy this video, by the end of it, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and go for 1,115 likes on today's video as well. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a future upload here on the channel. Don't forget to turn notifications on to ensure furthermore that you never miss an upload. But with that all out of the way, let's get straight on into the video. So obviously the whole reason why a lot of people think that there is going to be some kind of double pack-a-punch within World War II Zombies is obviously from the message of the day that said that weapons could be upgraded multiple times, and I did cover this on my channel when this was found, and this led a lot of people to think that there was an unsolved Easter egg within the Final Reich that allowed you to double pack-a-punch. However, Sledgehammer Games then updated this news bulletin to remove that section from the pack-a-punch section, removing the bit that says you can upgrade weapons multiple times. Now, after this was changed, this led people to think, well, maybe there isn't a double pack-a-punch within the Final Reich, and what could have happened is that pre-release of World War II Zombies, Sledgehammer Games could have been working to create and implement a double pack-a-punch within World War II Zombies, but somewhere along the line, this got cancelled and this got scrapped, and this could be something that maybe we will see later on during the course of the DLC, but is not currently within the game. Now, I say this because we did recently get a new trailer for the Final Reich that was a very early alpha version of the Final Reich, and there have been tons of stuff removed. The map had a different boss fight, a different area where a drawbridge comes down, the skybox was different, and instead of the pack-a-punch there was a mystery box in that exact location. So for some weird reason, a ton of stuff got changed for this map and a ton of stuff got cancelled to make it sort of less complex. Now, the only reason why I can think that this happened is because I think that this map is stretching the limits of the game, and the reason why I think this is if you've been playing the Final Reich, you will have noticed that literally the entire village section, the textures are very low quality. All the snow looks very bad for some reason, and I don't know why this is. All I can think of is that the game is just stretching the limits, and they've had to remove this drawbridge. They've had to make the map less complex because I think the game just couldn't handle it, and I think the reason for them changing the skybox from a dark but daylight setting to a pure night setting is because of the fact that they've had to lower down the textures from the village section in order for the map to run properly, because the snow textures are absolutely abysmal. I have no idea why they look so bad. They look so much better within the campaign and also the Snowy Ardennes multiplayer map. So I think they made the map night and they made it darker so that these poor textures could be less seen. But anyways, I think I've gone off on a bit of a tangent here, but I think that the bulletin may have been changed because possibly this was a scrapped Easter egg, because as you can tell, the map has changed a ton since the game has released. But now I'm going to discuss about this potential new Easter egg step that people have been talking about for the last few days. So a few days ago, Dayman That Game posted a video over on his channel discussing a potential step for either a monkey bomb upgrade or a double pack-a-punch Easter egg within the Final Reich. Now, he was known about this from a guy known as WTM Gaming, so I will leave a link to Dame's channel as well as his channel in this video's description. Make sure you go ahead and check them both out. But essentially, whenever you go up to the pack-a-punch machine within the Final Reich, if you throw a monkey bomb at the machine, immediately, as soon as the monkey bomb touches the machine, the dials that are on the machine, which are regularly set to 5,000, which is the cost of pack-a-punch, revert back to 00000. Not only does this happen when you chuck a monkey bomb at it, but if you chuck a regular grenade at the pack-a-punch, this exact same occurrence will happen. Now, people have been finding this since the very day that World War II Zombies released. People have been noticing that the dials do change on the pack-a-punch machine, but just no one really understood understood why this was happening. And it's only just now a few days ago that this was discovered, the exact method to change the dials. So people thought initially when this was found, this could be the first step for the double Pack-a-Punch Easter egg within the final Reich. Because if the dials change, then potentially either there's a way to double Pack-a-Punch, and this is just the first step, or there's a way to get the Pack-a-Punch being free. You can Pack-a-Punch for free, because obviously when you kill the treasurer zombies, you're able to get free perks, you're able to get free armor, as well as free mystery box spins. So maybe there's some sort of correlation with a free Pack-a-Punch to do with the treasurer zombies, or this could be, as I said, a step for the double Pack-a-Punch that a lot of people have been speculating about. However, after this was posted, people almost immediately started saying that this was debunked and that this was just a glitch. Now, the reason why they were saying this is because often when you do this step or whatever it is, whenever you chuck a jack-in-the-box or a regular grenade at the machine and the dials change from 5000 to 0000, you will notice that if you look at the dials, you will notice that the texture, the original texture, is overlapping on the past texture. And what this means is that the numbers are quite blurry and they're very distorted and they don't look professional. And this led people to say, well, hang on a minute, this is probably just a glitch. I think that this is wrong to do. This could be a glitch. This could be a glitch, but I think it is too early for us to dismiss it immediately, and I will give you a few reasons why. Now, I did see a video from Mr. Dalek JD about this topic. Again, he was trying to debunk this once again, and he pointed out the fact that a guy over on Reddit, known as AJonesy1989, you can see that he did this exact same thing. He chucked a grenade / jack-in-the-box at the machine, and the dials reverted to 00000. However, instead of the numbers being distorted like they usually are, and instead of the texture being overlapped, you can see that the numbers align perfectly and they do look professional. Now, the reason why this is interesting to take note of is because what if this is the actual way that this Easter egg step is supposed to occur? What if the dials are supposed to not be distorted and it's supposed to look just like this? And what most people are experiencing with the dials being distorted and with the texture overlapping, that could be this step being glitched, and Sledgehammer Gamers may have made a mistake when designing this step. Now, I say this because maybe when they were designing this step, they were a bit lazy. So I guess the most professional way for them to design this step is for the dials to actually rotate over to 00000 from 5000. However, what if they were lazy and instead of them doing this to design this step, they simply wanted to overlap a texture so that it would be 00000, and when they've designed this step, the texture is not overlapping correctly and it's causing it to become distorted for most people. However, what this guy over on Reddit found could possibly be the proper way to view this step. Now again, I could be wrong, maybe this is just a complete glitch, but the only reason why I am saying this is because I think that this community are too quick to dismiss everything as a glitch. Usually when a glitch occurs, it makes sense. It makes sense why the glitch is occurring. For example, there was a glitch within the Giant within Black Ops 3 Zombies where if you shot the clock with killing time activated with the Wunderwaffe DG2 or the Wunderwaffe DG3, different electrical orbs would form on the electric traps. Now, this led people to think this could be a step for a new Easter egg on the map, and I made loads of videos about this, but it just turned out to be a lighting glitch. However, this makes sense. It makes sense why this is a glitch, because I would assume they use the same coding for the electricity for the traps and the Wunderwaffe, so it makes sense how they're sort of intertwining with each other and creating this lighting glitch. However, with this glitch here, it makes no sense. How on earth would chucking a grenade at the Pack-a-Punch machine cause the dials to change and cause a new texture to form over the dials? I would kind of understand if this occurred when the explosion took place for the grenade, and the reason why I say this is because when a grenade explodes, the explosive blast goes over all the textures, so it causes the textures to change, and I could understand how maybe this causes this glitch to happen, but it doesn't. The dials change as soon as the grenade or the jack-in-the-box hits the Pack-a-Punch. Immediately, they change. There is no correlation between this at all. It doesn't make sense how this glitch is occurring. So I'm gonna end this video with two possible reasons for what this is. A, this is actually a first step for a double Pack-a-Punch Easter egg. Now, I think this is the unlikely option. The reason why I think this is the unlikely option is because, as I said, they've changed the bulletin for the news for the Pack-a-Punch to take out the part that says you can upgrade your weapons multiple multiple times. They removed that from the bulletin. The only reason why they would do that is because we were following a false lead and it was a mistake, and this could possibly be a cancelled or scrapped Easter egg. So I'm saying that it is possible Double Pack-a-Punch is still within the game, but I think it is unlikely. And the second option, and I think this is the most likely option, is that pre-release they were planning to have a Double Pack-a-Punch Easter egg on the map. However, it got cancelled. And I don't know why, but it got cancelled for whatever reason, and that's why the bulletin initially said you can upgrade your weapons multiple times. And I think that this is the most likely option, that this step with us chucking grenades at the Pack-a-Punch machine to change the dials to 00000 is something left over from when they were designing this Double Pack-a-Punch Easter egg, and that is why the texture is glitching out for people, and why it's overlapping is because it wasn't finished and we're just accessing something that can't be completed. And I think that this is the most likely option. Now, it is possible further down the line that maybe there'll be some sort of super Easter egg, for example, with the final Reich, in which we get to the final DLC 4 map and then we are able to go back to the final Reich and Double Pack-a-Punch, similar to how the super Easter egg worked within Infinite Warfare Zombies, where if you complete the super Easter egg within Infinite Warfare Zombies, you were able to go back to the director's cut version of Zombies in Spaceland and Double Pack-a-Punch straight away without completing the Zombies in Spaceland Easter egg. This could be something similar. Now, either this or they're going to add a Double Pack-a-Punch with all of the other DLC maps from now on, because, I mean, we've literally had a Double Pack-a-Punch ever since Black Ops 2. There was a Double Pack-a-Punch in Black Ops 2 Zombies where it would just give you extra attachments. There was a Double Pack-a-Punch, technically speaking, within Exo Zombies within Advanced Warfare, since you could upgrade your weapons up to Mark 25, so technically that's a Double Pack-a-Punch. Then obviously Black Ops 3 Zombies had a Double Pack-a-Punch that didn't require an Easter egg, and it would just give you elemental effects to your weapons. And then we had the Double Pack-a-Punch Easter egg within Infinite Warfare Zombies, and we kind of have an anomaly with World War II Zombies. But let me know all of your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for latest and greatest World War II Zombies news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.